I'll ask the first question now. What were your ambitions in life that drove you all the way to become, to the title of doctor and professors in medicine?
Well, my ambition was always to survive and manage to practice medicine to a high standard. Put in very simple terms.
Well, what drove you to medicine in the first place?
Sorry?
Why did you choose to become a doctor?
Well, that's slightly complicated. I mean, I wasn't dedicated to be a doctor or felt that I had to do it to help people or anything like that. I just happened to be only able to do medicine, physics, chemistry, biology, and botany in the sixth form. I mean, my standard of French wasn't very good and things like that.
But you could play rugby.
And then when you look at the opportunities available to you, and I suppose a slight influence is that my sister wanted to do medicine, but found it very difficult at that particular time. So, may have had an influence, I don't know.
How about you, Professor?
I always wanted to be a doctor. I think I wanted to combine academic career with caring for people. So it fitted in very well to be a doctor. I think just looking around, doctors can do but they can also do more. But hopefully I've done the former and not the latter, at least I hope.
So what makes you me myself, I think that studying medicine is really hard, but how can you, Dr. Clark already answered that question, but how can you, what makes you stay, what makes you survive to be a professor?
I think I was just pushed up to be a professor. I didn't really plan it. You qualify, then I actually wanted to go back to India, but stayed on there and got married an Englishman. The training was excellent. It was under this man here on my right. He was a very difficult taskmaster. And then really became a gastroenterologist and then
So for the second question, what differences do you see the most between Asian and European medical education?
Right, now that's quite a big question. One of the differences, the way they learn. In Asia, everybody learns by rote. We were examining I won't mention the name of the place, where you asked what's the differential diagnosis. They read out the whole of the 20 differential diagnoses as written on page 223 or whatever of the Americans. And that wasn't the point. They learned by rote. They couldn't apply what they learned to the patient. And I hope what we do in the West is take the patient and then apply the relevant points to that particular patient's care and understanding diseases. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yes, that's one. I mean, the thing that comes to my mind is we have difficulties in getting teaching staff, but not as much as I think you get in many parts of Asia. He was one of the academic professors this morning said that in all these new medical schools, it's a problem to get very good teachers, and we've heard that in other Asian countries that because of salary structures and various other things, it is very difficult to get good teachers.
Last question is, perhaps you have some time management tips. I know that, you mentioned earlier that it's really, it's a busy life for you to, write books and practice medicine and teaching all together. And perhaps you have some, tips for medical students out there and how to manage your time efficiently.
Oh, it's very difficult. I think as a woman, my great difficulty at the time I was a medical student and a doctor was there weren't very many women in medicine. It was all right for the boys to take a day off to play golf. But if I said I was taking an afternoon off to see a play or the children's school sports day, they said, oh, pardon me, she's a woman. So there's always that sort of feeling that the boys were better than the girls. And I think, to my mind, the most difficult thing has been balancing family life with a career. And I think if I can give you any advice, make sure the family life is first. Because if they're there in the background, you can do anything. And get a very supportive husband who understands what you're doing. I think if it hadn't been for mine, I would not have been able to do what I did.
That's amazing. How about you, Dante?
Well, you mentioned as a student, I think as a student, it's not to take it all too seriously because, I think there is a tendency, particularly amongst the female students, to think that the be-all and end-all is to get one more extra mark in the results, which it isn't. It's actually to enjoy your student life and get a good balance between enjoying your time and doing a certain amount of work. Yes, you've got to do a certain amount of work to pass the exams, but whether you get one extra point by doing, I don't think is worth it, because when you qualify, life is different. Suddenly you can't sort of suddenly say, well, I'm going to not get out of bed this morning. You have to get up and work because you've got a job to do. And so I think the thing today where I think a lot of students seem to get hung up by overworking, working too hard, they should realize that for the next 50 years after they qualify, they're going to be working hard anyway, so don't take it.
Can I just add to that? I think it's partly the medical school's fault because they are expecting you to perform and do something. You can do both if you do it in Monaco. The other problem, I think, is we've got a lot of Asian students now in medical schools in England, and they tend not to take part in sports, in societies, in drama and so on. And I think in a way to be a good doctor, you need to have interest in other things as well. You need to know what's going on, you need to be doing it in sport. So you're a rounded person, which I'm very sorry to see that our Asians are not doing that. I enjoyed myself. I did enjoy myself because, and I learned medicine later on, but then maybe life is different now.
It isn't totally different now. I think you can enjoy yourself and not perhaps learn medicine later. You can learn some medicine when you're a student, but a lot of it is got to be learned later.
You've got to learn life.
Life becomes serious.
Yeah. And you've got to know what's going on in life. There's a patient who come and talk about who won the football last night, or so if you don't have that something social to be able to start the conversation and know that you're an ordinary person, it's going to be hard to get there.
That's very useful and meaningful tips. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for taking
Not at all.
your time.
Not at all.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Nice to mention.